The finest.
Present.
We're here at 5 Pointz, Long Island City. 5 Pointz is the largest aerosol art exhibit legal space in the United States and quite possibly the world. There's probably about 350 to 400 pieces on the building at any given time. My name is Mirzwan. I was born in the Bronx, raised in Queens. I was always an artist, but graffiti was something new to me and I wanted to learn more. It was almost as if from the minute I saw it, I was hooked and it was no turning back. My whole idea in the beginning of creating 5 Pointz was to have a wall where any artist could come, experience, not experience, and create a piece of work without the egos and the hassle and that are associated with some other walls. And in the beginning, that's pretty much what it was. And throughout the years, it's grown to become much more.
I was in the Bronx in my car driving, listening to 1010. I heard on the radio that, graffiti building staircase collapsed. The staircase in the building, in the loading dock, had collapsed with a girl on it. And we thought at that point this place was going to close. If somebody was really to get seriously injured in this place again, they would shut us down.
My name is Louis Zimad Lamboy, Z-I-M-A-D. I was born and raised in the South Bronx, and I've been doing graffiti now for 32 years. I do graffiti art, and I do make money off of what I do. I've designed 4 pair of Air Jordans for Nike. I started graffiti at the age of 14, back in 1979. And I started from the neighborhood, 14-year-old, not allowed to go venture off into too many, like going into Manhattan to go to a gallery or anything. So the gallery was actually the trains that I seen in my neighborhood, plus the handball courts, which all had like the old school graffiti on it. In '79, there was not too much mural piecing, but there were pieces out there. Kind of simple, but like very colorful, and it caught my eye. Childhood was kind of rough. I grew up in the South Bronx when pretty much every other building was abandoned. There was a lot of junkyards. There was a lot of packs of stray dogs running down the street. There was gangs. And look out the window and you see these 2 gangs coming in, rumble, and then break out. And it all happens within 5 minutes. And then you see like the stragglers are being carried off by their gang members, and it's over. And then you go back outside and play. It was like, that was a normal thing in my neighborhood.
You can see what the South Bronx looked like in the 70s and 80s, and that did not look like burrowing within the 5 boroughs of New York City. That looked like an actual fucking war zone in another third world country. But here it was in your city, and nobody paid attention to it. So what do you think the children were gonna do?
So you think hip-hop and graffiti really kind of came out of this?
Yeah, it came out of an anger. It came out of you had to express what the hell you were going through. I love bombing. There's something about seeing my name all over New York City, so when you talk about graffiti, all you're really talking about is someone saying, I was here. Believe it or not, I found this by mistake on the train. I was on that line one day. I got sent here just to see a shrink. See my hat, it says Phoenix House. I graduated from Phoenix House. I did 40 months inside Real TC Therapeutic Community, they call it. This is early graffiti. That's why people have called this book the Bible.
What year is this stuff from?
Early 70s. Look how clean the train is. I found a place that reminded me exactly of the trains. Because when I come here and bomb, you know, I do my work, and as I'm piecing, I also hear the trains rolling behind me. So I get the euphoria and the feeling of being in the yard. I hear trains passing in the yard. This is what your trains used to look like. They were just walking galleries, man, moving galleries. Now they're just really pieces of metal that make a lot of noise. They get you around. I'm gonna show you a young man that's no longer with us. He died of AIDS. That was probably one of his first shows when he came out of the trains and was actually known as an established graffiti writer. He's up on that wall right in the middle, King Domdi. Because the very top line are all deceased graffiti writers that are no longer here with us.
I met Mears in 91. There was a program called MAGIC. It was More American Graffiti in Control. And it was a program that took inner city kids and showed them that it's better to create than to vandalize. He was in the program as well as me. And then the next time I would see him was him running up this whole building and his craft like exploding because he never really just stopped. He just kept building on what he did. Mears is like my brother. I consider him my brother. We've painted many serious productions together. Our styles are so different, but when they're together, it just, the chemistry is right.
My name is Marie-Cécile Flagel. I came the first time to the United States when I was 15, and my parents didn't want to start with a big city. Didn't want me to go to San Francisco, Chicago, New York. So they sent me to Arkansas, don't laugh. And I lived in Stuttgart, Arkansas, where you've never been. Capital of rice and duck, 7,000 people. And my second summer, I came to New York City. I was allowed, and I fell in love. I fell in love with garbage, the rats. I lived Lower East Side and East Village, Alphabet City.
So, like, are you yourself a graffiti artist?
No, I'm not.
So, like, how did you
get involved with
5 Pointz?
In Paris, I followed a lot of the street art, not as much graffiti, and then I met Mears One in 2005, and Hush Tour in the house. And I met Mears in 2005. We worked on a project for a French corporation, and then from then on, I started coming to 5 Pointz a lot. And since I have a background in PR and communication, he asked me to come on board and help out. I do handle a lot of the press and the PR, and also one of the things I do is I try to build a bridge between the corporate world and the hip-hop world.
I've always been drawing, so in high school it kind of came natural, and then I kind of just branched off from there, finding some names. Eventually I just started tagging everywhere my name, and then I started getting more into the artistic way of doing it.
Same, we've been drawing together forever. Professionally, I'm a designer, so the fact that graph and typography kind of match works for me.
Originally, I came more for like just to visit friends and because I love the New York culture. We got the opportunity to paint on 5 Pointz, and I had to take it. It's amazing. It's kind of like going to the MoMA, but you're going to the 5 Pointz. You know what I'm saying? Like I was walking around in there, and you're like, maybe I should change my whole piece. You know what I mean? Like there's things in there. I'm like, hold on, let me flip through my black book, see if I have anything. You know? It's kind of like a dream come true for any graffiti artist.
There was this kind of energy, it was like building up, like not, oh, we're gonna go tag illegal, it's we're gonna tag 5 Pointz. So you're inspired by the fact that you're getting up on such a famous graffiti landmark.
You guys want some fries?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the fries.
Jump in these fries for that documentary right there?
Back in the day, there was no legal spot to paint. I would do the trains, I would do handball courts. I was a bomber, a tagger, a graffiti writer. In the beginning, there was nothing artistic about what I was doing. I was out there for fame, I was getting up. I was getting the street rep. It was like, do what you gotta do and get the hell out before somebody comes.
Graffiti is a very, normally it's a very ego-driven sport where a lot of writers will think about themselves.
Everybody is king. Everybody's number one. Everybody's out for themselves.
I think by creating an environment where anyone could come and paint, and where I don't really let the ego and the favoritism speak as much, it's made this place a community.
I think that the true culture or counterculture is about getting up illegally and going out and all that. So, you know, I feel like some people would consider this like a half thing or like a toy if you're just going on and getting up on legals, which I understand. But if you're coming from a place where it's, you know, hey, you do the same thing, let's share it, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Here, this is, it's a more relaxed atmosphere. You don't have to look over your shoulder, you know, have cops like questioning you or trying to arrest you. It's a place where you could get really creative. You could piece and collaborate with people from all over the world here.
I didn't make this up or anything, but the idea that hip-hop is a universal language and you don't need to speak the same language as a person as long as you have certain common threads. Like, you can go to another country, anywhere. You go up there and you show them a black book, they get up on your black book and you kind of bonded without even having to speak the same language, without even having to have a conversation to get to know each other. The names that are on that wall, there's people from all over the world that come specifically for 5 Pointz, and you step back and you kind of look at it as one giant piece versus a whole bunch of individual tags. It's a different experience.
5 Pointz, the mecca of graffiti. Being a mecca, it draws people not only from all 5 boroughs to this place, and they're so amazed by what I do and how I do it, and all the art is coming from a spray can. There's people that never seen it done ever in their life. They just walk, you know, they walk down the street and they say, wow, you know, I didn't see that there yesterday, but they never get the experience watching somebody actually do it.
You know, tourists that come here that, you know, may have seen graffiti, but how many times can people say, I've witnessed graffiti getting created and spoken with these artists and kind of got their story. And I think a lot of people, because they don't understand the art form, because they can't read it, don't necessarily get it, and don't. A lot of times when people don't understand something, they automatically tend to not like something. It's art regardless of how you look at it, whether you like it or you don't like it. It's art, regardless if it's done on someone's property without their permission. It's still art. People are slow. It takes people a time to like lighten up to something.
We always knew it was a possibility, but we officially found out about the concrete plans of the landlord in March 2010 when the article came out in the Post, where he made a statement that he was bringing the building down and doing condos.
By taking this building away from graffiti writers, the same thing they did when they took it in 1989, is gonna happen even worse this time. Because when they took it from the trains, all we ended up doing was going to backyards, rooftops, freight trains, abandoned buildings. You know, a writer gotta have a place of peace. Those beams prevent anybody from doing any work here, because if you start demolishing this building, which is what they want to do, give you 2 nice high rises to come up here, I don't know, maybe somebody want to live in front of the New York City MTA system, pay a couple of $1 million to come out your balcony and hear this every day.
We knew the owner of the building is a real estate developer, and he buys property, fix it up, or destroy it and build something new.
The ironic thing is that he's allowed me to create this epicenter for graffiti art in New York, and yet he doesn't see the vision that's here.
If Mirrors One was not at 5 Pointz every day for the past 9 years, Mirrors One's career as far as gallery and commission work would be 10 times bigger. It's a selfless act, and it's very humbling to see someone giving so much for nothing in return other than the love of the art. And he has decided to make 5 Pointz his masterpiece.
It's not a building covered with graffiti. It's just like, it's beautiful artwork. It really is. And I don't think it should be going down at all, in fact. I think it should stay up.
He has a part of history right here, with like the whole idea of becoming a museum and the largest graffiti builder in the world. I don't feel it's going to close under the conditions that people say it is. I believe that we will win this fight.
There's nothing like it, at least in nothing like it that I know of in Miami, New York, so it's unique in what it represents. So it leaving takes away a part of the, I don't want to say it takes away a part of the culture, but it means something for graffiti artists. It's not just a place to get up. There's an emotional, story behind a lot of stuff that happens there. So,
Exactly.
Taking that away is more than just taking out a free wall to paint on,
I say some of my most memorable experiences have become not through the art itself, but through maybe the way the art affects people in their life situations, some of the friendships that were created through 5 Pointz. And, next year's our 10th anniversary, and at this point, 5 Pointz looks better than ever.